Hello everyone, my name is Dhruvi Patel. I am first year student of Computer Engineering at Swaminarayan University. Today I am going to solve LeetCode problem number 682, which is baseball game. So in this problem I have given an array operations. So it represents here in this array I have given a starting record on which I have to perform operations. So as given in the description, if I have integer, so I have to add as it is integer in the array but in a string format. After that, if I have a plus, so I have to add previous two scores of the record. If I have a capital D, then I have to double the previous score. If I have a capital C, so I have to removing the previous score from the record. So let's take example 1. So as you can see in example 1, I have a array operations. So this is array. I have given score at the starting, which is 5 and 2, and I have to perform operations like which is capital C, capital D and plus. So as I see earlier, capital C means I have to remove the previous previous score from the record. So the vector becomes 5 after applying the capital C. So what capital D means, I have to double the previous score and then add it in a vector. So as I have a previous score 5, so I double the previous score 5 to 10 and add in a vector. Now I have a plus operator. So I have to add the previous two scores, means I have previous two scores 5 and 10, then I have to add 5 and 10, which results in 15. So I have to add the 15 in the vector. At last I have to return the sum of the vector after performing all the operations. So here I have a vector after performing operation is 5, 10 and 15. Then sum of a vector is, it becomes 30. So I have to return the output as a 30. Now let's see the approach to solve this problem. Now at first I am taking the vector and I am performing all the operations in the given operation array and storing the results in the vector. So if I have a plus operator, then I am taking last two scores from the vector and adding them and push it in a vector. Now if I have capital D, then I am taking the last score from the vector and double the score and adding it in a vector. If I have a capital C, then I am removing the last score from the record by the popback method. At last I am return the sum of all the scores on the record after applying all the operations. So which I get the vector at last. Now I have to return the sum of the vector at last after performing all the operations. Now let's go to the code. So here I am taking vector of a type int. Now I am running the for loop from int I equals to 0 to I should be less than operations of operations dot size. Now I am incrementing I, and in for loop I am checking if operations of I is equals to plus. I have to take here string because I have given characters in the format of string. So if it matches to the plus, then I am taking last two scores from the vector. So for that I am taking variable int to store the vector size. Now I am After adding two last scores, I am pushing the result in the vector. Now I am checking in else if condition if operations of I equals to capital D, then I have to take the last score and adding it in a vector after doubling the score. So here I have to use the pushback to store the result in the vector. Now I am double the last score. So here vector dot back. I am using vector dot back method to get the last score from the vector. It gives the last element of the vector, so I get the last score. Now I am using else if for the capital C. If I have a capital C in a operations array, then I have to remove the last element. For removing the last element, I am using the popback method. It removes the last element from the vector. At last, if all the above three conditions are not matched, then I have the current element of the operations array is integer, so I have to directly push back it in a vector, but I have to convert it in a integer because it is given in a string. So here I use vector dot pushback for adding it in a vector, but string to integer method to convert operations of I. So here I use stoi, which means string to integer. It converts the string given string to the integer. So now here at last I have to return the sum of the vector. So I am taking variable sum. Now I am again running the for loop for iterating in a vector. Here I have a type of a vector is integer, so I am taking int I and vector. Now sum, I am adding the each element of the vector and at last return the sum. Now let's check the code by running if it work correctly or not. There is some error. So here the spelling mistake. I have to add operations here. Now let's check the code. Again, here I have to add string format. So here, as you can see, our code runs successfully and it passed all the three test cases. Now also I can add our custom test case by here. So I have to add now let's check the code if it is working or not. So it also passes our custom test case and gives the output as 30. So I am checking the code by submitting if it is pass all the test cases or not. So it is successfully passed all the 39 test cases as mentioned here. So at last I am now let's see the time complexity and space complexity of the code. So here I used two for loop, as this is the for loop 1 and this is for loop 2. So here I used two for loop. That's why the time complexity is big O of n plus big O of n. At overall the time complexity becomes big O of n, and here I use vector for storing the, here I use vector to track changes which I for tracking changes on of the operation array. So it is running at least n times. So here the space complexity is big O of n. So this is the solution. If you find this solution helpful, please like, share and subscribe my channel. Thank you.